Welcome to the third part of our training introducing customs classification and the harmonized system. Don't hesitate to subscribe to our channel, and on our e-learning site you can find an interactive version of this course. Link in description. We will now, as an example, review the one used for imports to the United States of America and called Harmonized Tariff Schedule. The classification system used for the imports to the United States is called the Harmonized Tariff Schedule, HTS in short. This country-specific system integrates the commonly used 6 digits of harmonized system nomenclature and extends the classification to 10 digits codes. The additional 4 digits are therefore specific to the United States and help classify the product in more details. Having more digits permits to differentiate more products from one to another, to track them in more details, and apply more targeted duty rates. All goods imported to the United States must be classified in accordance with this HTS nomenclature system. The Harmonized Tariff Schedule is used for import duties, quotas, and statistical purposes. The purpose is also to classify goods based on their material composition, product name, and/or intended function, and determine the relevant and applicable duty, also called tariff. We can see here an example of cotton sewing thread put up for retail sale, which code determines the duty rate of 4.4%. For your general information, we would like to mention that the authority responsible for producing, maintaining, and publishing the Harmonized Tariff Schedule of the United States is the Office of Tariff Affairs and Trade Agreements of the United States International Trade Commission, and that the U.S. Customs and Border Protection is responsible for administrating the tariff and for processing import entries. We already know that the general HS system determines a commonly used structure of sections and chapters, which is integrated in the national catalogs. On top of the standard 21 sections and 97 chapters of the HS system, the United States Harmonized Tariff Schedule adds an additional section, number 22, which contains 2 additional chapters, 98 and 99, which are country-specific and contain products concerned by special classification provisions, temporary legislation, and additional agriculture import restrictions. This brings the catalogue to a total of 22 sections comprising 99 chapters. As with HS, Chapter 77 is reserved for future use. This organization is used in the paper version of the HTS book as well as in the online version, of which the chapters index page is shown here. These sections and chapters are key for any product classification exercise, as they will permit you to rapidly locate the commodity or product group to which your product belongs inside the HTS. For example, if you are looking to import tiger prawns, you will know that you have to look for its HTS code and applicable duties in Section 1, as it contains all chapters and codes related to live animals and animal products. There is also an online search database which can be used to look up products or codes. This database can also be reached by using the search box located on this website. In addition to classification codes, the Harmonized Tariff Schedule, as well as the internationally used harmonized system, contain important sets of rules, notes, and guidelines. These explain more about how to assign and interpret the HS or HTS categories and help understand the classification process. They are important notably for certain goods which may appear to fall into more than one category. These rules and notes are fully part of the classification systems, and for the HTS, you can find them, for example, on this same website. Those that concern the entire HTS system are the general rules of interpretation, the general notes, and the general statistical notes. Then on the beginning of each section, you can find the section notes which relate to the concerned section, the specific group of chapters. Apart from the section notes, there are also chapter notes, which can be found at the beginning of the chapter they apply to. Across the HTS catalog, you can also find additional US-specific rules of interpretation and additional US-specific notes. The intent of each classification system is that each good can be described in only one category and assigned a unique classification code. The nomenclature structure is set up as a hierarchy, and the goods are first assigned to sections, then chapters, headings, and finally subheadings. Let's imagine we want to import some dried plantains and therefore need to secure the HS code for this product. First, we identify a section. Sections do not appear in the HTS code but group similar commodities and are helpful when classifying products. In our example, we rapidly determine that our plantains fall under section number 2, which regroups all vegetable products. Then we look for the chapter. In our case, it is chapter 8, the one containing the codes for edible fruits and nuts, peel or citrus fruit or melons. This gives us the first two digits of our dried plantains, HTS code 08. Then we find the heading group of bananas and plantains, fresh or dry, which, with its two additional digits, gives us our 4 digits heading of 0803. Then we use the subheading named plantains to find our 6 digits code 080310. This 6 digits code is the most detailed one still used on the international level in the catalog of all countries participating in the HS system. Going further, beyond these standard 6 digits, we dive into the HTS code specific to the US, and we will choose between fresh or dried plantains in order to get our 8 digits tariff rate subheading. And finally, we had the last 2 digits, which are used for statistical tracking purposes, and get our complete 10 digits code. This is how the HTS code 0803 10 20 00 is assigned to our dried plantains. The process of reading the US tariff schedule consists in 2 major steps. First, we located our dried plantains in the Chapter 8 and classified with the HTS code 0803 10 20 00 based on the following breakdown from left to right. A heading 0803 with the first 2 digits reflecting the chapter, then a subheading adding 10, bringing us up to the 6 digits used internationally 080310, then the country-specific subheading adding 20, bringing us to the 8 national digits code that determines duty rate, and finally statistical suffix 00, which is also country-specific. Now that we have located our row, we look for information related to rates of duty, moving to the right side. The first cycled column is called General Duty Rate. This duty rate or amount applies to most goods entering the United States. The next column is the Special Duty Rate. These are the duty rates for goods that may qualify for a special treatment under a trade agreement. It lists the duty rate and then the code for the eligible trade agreements. It is important to understand that the trade agreements define regulations and rules which it is necessary to comply with in order to claim the preferential rates, such as, for example, duty-free status. If you are importing goods from a country which is part of one of these listed trade agreements, and if your product meets the specific rules of origin for the applicable trade agreement, and the correct certificate of origin is produced, then it may qualify for this special preferential duty rate. The last column is the duty rate for countries listed in the General Note 3b, currently Cuba and North Korea, for which specific trade tariffs and restrictions apply. Please note that columns to the right are numbered as 1 and 2, with column 1 being split into general and special duty rates subcolumns. Using this table, we can now state that the indicated general duty rate for our dried plantains is 1.4%. And if we were importing them from Peru, which is part of a trade agreement with the US, Peru-United States Trade Promotion Agreement, abbreviated by PE in the special duty rate column of the HTS catalog, then, if the conditions of this trade agreement were met and the origin correctly documented, it would be duty-free. Let's now summarize the key points. The Harmonized Tariff Schedule is a codification system used for import purposes. It contains 10-digit HTS codes used to classify all imported goods to the United States. These codes integrate the 6 digits of the internationally used Harmonized Commodity Description and Codification System, also referred to as Harmonized System or HS in short. The imported product, for example bamboo chopsticks, is looked up in the National Classification Catalog, of which an extract is shown here, and this product is assigned a code. This code defines notably the import duty rate, which also possibly depends on the origin of the product and existing trade agreements. Aside from this rate, the HTS code is also used for other purposes, such as control quotas and trade statistics. We hope you enjoyed this course. You can find more in our interactive e-learning catalog, link in description, and you can use the coupon U10 to get a 10% discount of any course or courses.